Who?
Dave, man, open up.
Dave?
Yeah, Dave, come on, man, open up. I think the cops saw me.
Dave's not here.
Hello, fellow humans, and Dave may look a little stiff today because Dave's not here, as you probably just heard. Because Dave's not here, I figured I would just continue to rant, just like the other day, but different. Yeah, Dave and his lovely bride are traveling back across the country to another secret hideaway. We'll find out when they get there where they'll be, and I'm sure we'll get together with Dave real soon. I think he may be headed back toward my general region, which could work out. Anyway, continuing on with the discussion about Rolling Stone magazine, and I like what someone wrote in one of the comments that Rolling Stone magazine was a valuable tool for them growing up in the 70s because they would automatically go out and listen to or buy a record that Rolling Stone completely trashed. You know, if it got a real bad review on Rolling Stone, a lot of people thought, you know what, there's evidence. We probably have a good song here. We probably have a good record, a good band. So anyway, take it for what it's worth. But this I find curious. Rolling Stone puts out these lists all the time. The greatest this, the greatest that. In whose opinion is my question. And I wonder if you share the opinion of Rolling Stones. Not Rolling Stones, Rolling Stone magazine, and of course their leader, their mighty warrior soldier Jan. Let's listen to the list that they put out in 2004 and 2010. The top 10, I think, was the same. But anyway, this is the old list. They put out a new list in 2021. But here are the top 10 from 2004-2010 list. Number 1 on the list, according to Rolling Stone magazine, 500 greatest songs of all time. Here is the greatest song of all time, my friends. You tell me if you agree with the number 1. It is Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan. Greatest song of all time. Not just rock and roll song, not pop song. Greatest song of all time, 1965's Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan. Okay, let me know if you agree with that one. How about number 2? Can you get behind number 2? From 1965 as well. It's I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. Number 2, second greatest song in the history of music making. Okay, let's look at number 3. Number 3, from 1971.
Imagine there's no heaven.
Imagine by John Lennon. How about that? Imagine that. 1971. That was the third, according to Rolling Stone magazine, 500 greatest songs of all time, their previous list, not the current list. All right, let's go to number 4. Do you agree with this? Greatest song of all time. That's number 4 there. What's Going On? Marvin Gaye, also from 1971. All right, let's go to number 5. Do you agree with that? What's Going On? One of the top 5 greatest, or number 4 on the top 10 list of greatest songs of all time. Do you agree? All right, number 5 from 1967. Now, not the original version of Respect by Otis Redding, the cover version of Respect by Aretha Franklin. Do you agree with that one? Should that be on the top 10 songs of all time? That's all music, all time, top 10. Okay, let's go to number 6. And this song came out in 1966.
I'm picking up good vibrations.
Okay, that is the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations, from 1966. Number 6 on the list of top 10 greatest songs of all time, which is part of the top 500 list put out by Rolling Stone magazine, 2004 and 2010. Okay, finally, here's one I can kind of get behind on a top 10 list of the greatest songs of all time from 1958.
Go, go. Go, Johnny, go.
Johnny Be Good, Chuck Berry. Okay, I'm in this time. All right, I'm on board. When it comes to influence, when it comes to the greatness of the song, the danceability, I guess, which could be a factor, doesn't have to be. Uniqueness of it. Great song. I'm on board with that one so far from the list. All right, let's go to number 8. Do you agree with that? Should that be on the top 10 list, greatest songs of all time? All right, here's number 8, according to Rolling Stone, on the previous list.
Hey Jude, don't be afraid.
How about that? We're back to the Beatles type stuff there with number 8. That is Hey Jude from 1968. 1968. Right? Somebody else agrees. All right, well, let's go to number 9 on the list. And finally, my friends, we leave the 50s and 60s and 70s. Finally, but you know what? We skip over there's no 80s on this list. Well, maybe you agree with that. I don't know. But there's no 80s on the list. But let's jump to 1991 for the 9th greatest song of all time in the history of recorded music. There you go. It's Nirvana with Smells Like Teen Spirit. Most people don't even understand what that means. Teen Spirit was a scent. It was that the kids were lathering on themselves, and instead of showering, I guess they were putting on this Teen Spirit. So it smells like Teen Spirit. Okay, number 9 on the list, top 10 songs. I could discuss that one. Now we go to number 10, greatest songs of all time. This will finish out the top 10 from their original list. Here's number 10. There you go. It's Ray Charles, What I Say. Ray Charles, What I Say. That is the number 10 on the old list. Okay. It's a great song. Don't get me wrong. In fact, one could argue all those songs in one way or another are great songs. Right, Dave? Oh, right, Dave? Okay. All right. That's one thing. First of all, something I noticed. What I Say came out in 59. All right, here we go. So we had 1965, 65, 71, 71, 67, 66, 58, 68, 91, 59. There's your top 10 right there, according to the 2004-2010 list. If you're like me, you may have noticed most of those songs were old. And there's nothing wrong with that. Except one thing, it shows bias. And that's what Rolling Stone magazine is all about. Bias. And that's the thing they won't admit, their bias. Or maybe they do admit it. But it's wrong, in my humble opinion. So, I don't know. Let me put music lover back here in the middle. So, I am a music lover of all music types. And personally, I find maybe one of those songs could go in the top 10 greatest songs of all time. Maybe one of those songs, in my opinion. But then 2021 comes along. And Bob Dylan gets bumped from the number 1 spot. And replacing Bob Dylan at the number 1 spot on the 2021 list, according to Rolling Stone magazine, this is the greatest song of all time. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. That's actually the number 2 song on the list. The number 1 song on the list was the number 5 song on the other list. Okay, so Aretha Franklin somehow in 2021 took her cover version of an Otis Redding song, and somehow that song became the number 1 song in the world of recorded history of music, all time, greatest song ever. Do you agree? Do you agree? That's my question. Leave your comment below. I'm curious what you all think. So then we move on to what is the second best song in the history of recorded music.
Fight the power. Fight the power.
Look, I'm the first white person I know to have a rap album, okay? I remember no one in my family being particularly happy that I had rap albums, and I had a bunch of them. But if I was going to list the top 10 songs of all time, I can't see that being... I don't even know if that one would make the top 100. And I'm pretty sure... No, I don't think it would. I don't think that would make the top 200. Why is it number 2? Do you agree with that one? Or is there something fishy going on here? I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's go to the third greatest song of all time, according to Rolling Stone magazine on the current list. Here it is.
A change gonna come. Oh, yes it will.
What? A change is going to come? From 1964, that's Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke had some great songs. A change is going to come? I'm starting to see, wait a minute. Respect, fight the power, a change is going to come. I'm starting to see a trend. Do you guys see the trend? Huh. All right, well, here's number 4. This was number 1 on the first list. It got bumped down to number 4.
How does it feel?
Like a Rolling Stone. Bob Dylan, number 1 to number 4, pushed out by a Sam Cooke song half the population's never heard in their life, and Public Enemy's Fight the Power. Okay. Which takes us to number 5 on the list, and this band went up a few spots. So number 5 on the new 2021 list of the greatest songs of all time, number 5, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay, let's go to number 6. Oh, Marvin Gaye lost a few spots. He went from 4 to 6, but wait a minute. Isn't that another protest song? Respect, fight the power, change is going to come. Like a Rolling Stone, what's going on? They're all kind of protesty songs, aren't they? Maybe this is a list of the greatest protest songs of all time. Maybe that's what this is. Okay, I can get behind that. But we're not talking about music, songwriting, playing, popularity. We're not talking about any of those other metrics. These are great protest songs. I don't know about this one.
Strawberry fields forever.
Strawberry Fields Forever. You know what? This is one of those cases where I'd have to look up the lyrics to see if that's a protest song or not. I don't know. I could probably sing the whole song, but I've never really thought about what's going on. That's why we need the big guy over here. That's why we need him. All right, so Strawberry Fields Forever, the Beatles, number 7. Let's look at number 8. This is a new one on the list. This wasn't on the old list. Number 8, the 8th greatest song in the history of recorded music.
Get your freak on. Get your freak on.
What?
Get your freak on. Get your freak on.
Do you agree with number 8, Missy Elliott from 2001? Get your spelled U-R. Get your freak on. Just curious what you think of that. 8th greatest song in the history of recorded music, according to Rolling Stone magazine 2021. All right, here's another new entry to the top 10 list from 1977. Okay. It's a good song by Fleetwood Mac, Dreams. Again, great song. Of the millions of songs ever recorded, should definitely appear in the top 500 list. But at number 9, I love the band. But at number 9, 9th greatest song of all time, debatable. Certainly debatable. And another new entry on the top 10 list, 10th greatest song of all time from Rolling Stone magazine's current list from 2003. You know, I'm at a loss, really. It's a fun party song, but that's better than I don't know, Mellow Yellow by Donovan. That's better than, I don't even, Roundabout by Yes. That's better than Spirit of Radio by Rush. That's better. Hey Ya, Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture. That's better. That's the 10th greatest song in the history of recorded music. Okay. Just wondering what you think about that. I know I'm ranting. I know I am. I just think this organization has too much gravitas. They're given too much weight. They've lost their minds. And again, the 2021 list, 1967, Public Enemy came out in 89, 64, 65, Smells Like Teen Spirit, 91, 71, 67, Get Your Freak On, 2001, Dream, 77, Hey Ya, 2003. On the entire current list, on the entire 2004 list, a full 40% of the songs on that original list came out in the 60s. Another 28% came out in the 70s. So that's what, 69% of the top 500 came out in those 2 decades. If you add in the 50s, so that's 40, 50, 60, 70. That's almost 3/4 of the list was 50s, 60s, 70s. Obviously, that's changed a lot with the current list. I don't know the current. Here we go. It's current structure. So the 70s, which were, the 60s, which was 39%, on the original list is now down to 22%. The 70s were at 28%. The 70s are now down to, it went up to 29%. 28% to 29%. 80s picked up some, 16%. 90s, 14%. 2000s, 8%. 2010s, 6%. And 2020s, there's 3 songs from the 2020s. I don't have the full list, but there's 3 songs from the 2020s that are considered one of the 500 greatest songs of all time. I wonder what they might be from the 2020s. These are songs put out in the last 3 years. I can't think of a song put out in the last 3 years that would make it on my top list of 500 greatest songs of all time, paring all of music down to 500 songs. I don't know. If you can come up with one from the last 3 years, I'd like to hear that. 2.5 years, really, or 2.33 years. Anyway, so I'm continuing my rant, and I just want you to know that it's idiotic, the whole thing. That's just my opinion. Anyway, we'll be back with actual reactions instead of me just reacting to lists.
That's the end?